Okay, one of our 3.0 objectives is solving quadratics by finding square roots. These questions are right off of your review. Question number 7. You can see that we are trying to solve for x here. Those are the directions that you would be given as solve for x. And when you just have x squared and no other x term, then you can use square roots to solve it. So we're just trying to get x squared by itself. So to do that, I'm going to subtract this 3 from both sides, which gives us this. And then we're going to divide by 5, which would be 55. And then to undo that squared, oh, I'm sorry, not 55, 75. And do that squared, we're going to square root both sides, which will give us x equals plus or minus square root of 75. When we're solving any kind of quadratic and we end up with a square root in our answer, we have to check to see if we can simplify it. 75 isn't a perfect square, but it is divisible by the perfect square 25. So I'm going to rewrite it as the square root of 25 times the square root of 3. And the square root of 25 is 5, so my answer is 5 root 3, plus or minus 5 root 3. We're going to do the same thing for number 8, but this time, instead of just solving for x squared, we're trying to get this guy right here by itself, because that's the thing being squared. So I'm going to add 12 to both sides. Which gives us negative 27. And then we'll divide 3. Take the square root of both sides to undo that squared. So we get x minus 2 equals plus or minus 3i. And then I'm going to add 2, because that's the last thing that we need to do to get x by itself. And since 3i and 2 aren't like terms, we're just going to write it as 2 plus or minus 3i. And that's our answer. So just to recap, when you're doing these, you want to try to get x by itself. So just undo the thing farthest away from x. So like on this one we started with 12, and then we went to 3, and then we took care of the squared, and then we undid the minus 2. And on the last problem, we were just solving for x squared. So we just work our way and undo the stuff farthest away.